Okay booktube, let's do this thing. I'm Span and welcome back to my channel. This week's review is about the Black Prism by Brent Weeks. So this book was recommended to me and actually given to me as a birthday present by a couple of friends of mine, and it is just awesome. Quite large. Spectacular! Perfect word. It's spectacular. It's quite the spectacle. It's got the full spectrum of emotions. So it's hard to talk about this book without giving away mad spoilers. It's a book of epic fantasy. It's a land with a strict political and religious structure to it, and it's been at peace for the last 16 years since the last Great Prism War. We meet this character named Kip, our main character, and he's in this small village which is just about to be overtaken by this rebel king. So from there starts this grand, epic, awesome adventure where Kip, he comes into himself, he grows up finding out who he really is and what he's capable of. There are characters in this that I cannot mention without giving away spoilers because I just know that I will say the wrong thing. I am not even going to mention many other characters in this book, but trust me, they're there and they are brilliant. Okay, so I love the magic system in this. So what happens is that you can draft magic from different colours. So the more colours that you can see, or the less colourblind you are basically, the better you are at magic. So you've got this natural skill of being able to draft the magic, which is a will that you control. And so say I'm a blue colour mage drafter thing, I would look at the blue colour and I would draw the magic from that colour, and then I can use that lux. And they call it lux, and it's just basically magic structure sort of stuff to create and like fire things and just all sorts of things. And each different colour has all its different properties, and there's so much you can do in the world with the colours. So I did one of those tests, like which Hogwarts house are you, to find out what my colour and what my powers would be like. So I was a red drafter, right? But I was like a vagrant, rogue, colourblind, red-green colourblind drafter. So what that means is that I can't differentiate between the colours red and green, but I can draft from red. So I would be in a forest going, why can't I draft from these red trees? Because they're green trees, but I couldn't tell that. But then also I'd be suddenly looking at the roses and one would catch on fire. Like, I just have this awesome character built up of myself in this world, in this universe. I think that systematic magic will stay in my imagination for a very long time. I think about it all the time. I'm like, every time I see a nice colour, I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could draft that. There's a whole system within this universe, in the society, where the people who are bigger colour drafters and are better at it are more powerful and rich, and then the people who can't draft or can only draft one colour are kind of at the lower end of that spectrum. That spectrum! There's the right amount of explanation so that you know exactly what's happening and you understand the world completely, but you're not bored by the details. Also, the writing in this is magnificent. I really liked it. When I first started reading the first chapter or two, I was a little bit confused because it tells the story, but then also occasionally it'll jump in with like a thought that the character themselves are having at that time, and then it started to become one of my favourite things about the book. Like, I really enjoyed how it is written. Also, some of the actual sentences in here are just beautiful. They're poetry. I had to stop quite a lot of times and underline. I even highlighted at one point. I used crayon. This book was magical and lovely and colourful and wonderful. Oh, and also in the magic system, you don't want that, just throw it on the floor. In the magic system also, you can see the colour in their eyes. So you get a little, when you draft colours, you get little rings in your irises, little halos of that colour, and then when you do too much, you can shatter the halo and then you go absolutely crazy. And these crazy people, they turn into these monsters, their morals get lost, and the different colours have different effects on your humanity, basically. And so if you're green, you go absolutely wild, you just encompass wildness. And Kip, he has a bit of a green wild berserker moment a couple of times, and I love the berserker. I guess they're not really a trope, but in wars, when the berserker just goes nuts and just fucking annihilates everybody. That's my favourite thing in those sorts of situations. I love when that one person just has had enough and he just lets rip and she just destroys everyone. I can't really explain why, I just think that I relate to that subsurface rage somehow, like the Hulk, maybe like the Hulk. Oh, so also, because I would be a colorblind red-green, and I draft red but I have green eyes, I wouldn't be able to see the halo in my own eyes. So from that plot twist at the beginning that I was talking about earlier, did I talk about that earlier? So I don't like to often talk about plot twists in books because then people are expecting them coming, but I'm going to do it with this one anyway because it got me and I really, really enjoyed it. It was at the beginning of the book at about, I don't know, here somewhere. I was like, oh my god, what? I out loud said, like, what? And I stopped and then I just put it all together because of what that meant for the entire story that I'd had so far. And from then on it just became this sort of opaque greatness. So this book is the first in a series, which I'm really, really happy about because I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of them. I want to spend as much time as I possibly can in this world. However, it might not be for a little while because these books are quite large and I assume the rest are as large as this. And it's hard to read a book that large in a month, let alone in a week. Not that this book wasn't satisfying on its own though. I could quite happily put that down and be like, okay, I can wait 6 months a year to read the next one, but on the same hand, I really want to read the next one right now. Like, it's a very satisfying book. So that was my review of The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. You've got to read this. No, really, come on, there's a map! Thank you so much for watching. I highly recommend this book. Cool, I will see you all again, probably on Monday for a tiger experience where I got to feed a tiger. How cool is that? Okay, see you all then for that. Bye guys! How do you turn this thing off?